Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unravel the mysteries lurking in the shadows and explore the stories that send shivers down your spine. From unsolved crimes to paranormal encounters, from eerie legends to the unknown, we're here to take you on a journey into the unexplained. Every story has layers, and every layer brings us closer to the truth or deeper into the mystery. So grab a seat, turn down the lights, and get ready to dive into the unknown. This is the Deep Dive. Okay, so get this. Picture the Siberian taiga.
Oh, yeah.
Not your average woods, right?
No.
This place is massive.
Huge.
Millions of square miles.
Right.
Pure, unforgiving wilderness.
Absolutely.
It's the kind of place where venturing out unprepared isn't just risky,
It's suicidal.
Yeah, it's practically suicidal. And that's where this deep dive takes us.
I like it.
We've got survival stories, strange sounds, and enough local legends to make your skin crawl.
It's a place that truly captures the imagination, a vast expanse where, those ancient beliefs intersect with the harsh realities of nature.
And at the heart of this story is Sergey.
Yeah.
A seasoned hunter who knows these woods like the back of his hand.
Oh, wow.
We're talking years of experience navigating this unforgiving terrain. This isn't some amateur adventure. Sergey is the real deal.
So, he's going in prepared.
Oh, yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
He decides to document his latest hunting trip, bringing a camera along to capture the whole thing.
Okay.
But here's where things get interesting. Even before he sets foot in the wilderness, an old hunter gives him a warning.
Oh, really?
Now, this isn't uncommon.
Right.
The taiga is steeped in folklore, stories whispered around campfires, warnings passed down through generations.
It's like the land itself holds memories,
Yeah.
echoing with the experiences of those who came before.
Yeah.
This warning, whether rooted in superstition or genuine concern, it adds a layer of foreshadowing, right?
Sure.
It tells us that even experienced hunters like Sergey are not immune to the mysteries of the taiga.
You got it. And the fact that Sergey, who's usually so cool and collected, actually hesitates after hearing it.
Well, it makes you wonder if he's brushing it off, if it's actually gotten under his skin.
Right.
But like you said, he's a pro.
Yeah.
So he pushes those thoughts aside,
Yeah.
heads deep into the wilderness,
Okay.
sets up camp,
Okay.
and starts prepping for the hunt.
Right.
And you can see the meticulousness, the years of expertise in every action he takes.
This is where his technical skill really shines through.
Oh, yeah.
Notice how he chooses his campsite, factoring in wind direction, proximity to water, natural camouflage.
Right.
He's not just setting up camp, he's creating a strategic stronghold.
Exactly. And his gear, from the way he reinforces his shelter to the custom modifications on his rifle,
Speaks volumes about his understanding of the environment and the challenges it presents.
Yeah,
This guy doesn't leave anything to chance.
I bet.
He even prepares bait for deer, using his knowledge of local flora to attract game.
Smart.
And for a while, everything seems normal.
Okay.
You hear the peaceful sounds of the forest, the wind rustling through the trees, birds chirping, a distant owl hooting.
Right.
It's almost serene.
This initial tranquility amplifies the tension to come.
Oh, for sure.
It's the calm before the storm, highlighting the stark contrast between the familiar and the unknown that awaits.
And then night falls.
As darkness descends, the mood shifts.
Yeah.
Remember that sense of tranquility?
Yeah.
It starts to unravel.
It
The
does.
silence of the forest becomes...
You can almost feel it, like the
Oh.
whole forest is holding its breath. Yeah, and then through that stillness, we start to hear it.
These aren't the typical sounds one expects in the wilderness.
Right.
This isn't the rustling of leaves or the call of a nocturnal animal.
Nope.
This is something else.
Sergey captures these sounds on his camera, and trust me, they're unsettling.
Okay.
It's this metallic clanging, echoing through the trees.
Oh, I see.
Almost like someone's hitting metal with a hammer. And it's distant at first, almost easy to dismiss.
But it's the progression that's truly unnerving.
Right.
As the night wears on, the sounds grow closer, more distinct.
Though it gets more intense.
There's a deliberate quality to them, an almost calculated approach that sets them apart from the random noises of the natural world.
And you can practically hear the tension rising in Sergey's voice.
Yeah.
He starts whispering to himself, quiet, quiet, quiet. Like he's trying to will the forest to be still.
It's a common tactic, repeating a calming word or phrase to stay focused in a high-stress situation.
But it also speaks to a certain superstition, as if he's trying not to attract unwanted attention.
It's a primal response to the unknown.
Right.
He's trying to maintain composure, but you can hear the shift in his breathing, The urgency in his movements.
And he knows something isn't right.
Yeah.
And he's not just sitting there frozen in fear.
Nope.
He starts taking precautions.
Right.
He moves his camp, taking advantage of the natural cover of darkness to relocate to a more strategic position.
Makes sense.
He builds a fire, not just for warmth, but also because fire has a way of keeping wild animals at bay.
It's a testament to his experience and resourcefulness.
Right.
He's adapting to the situation, using his knowledge of the taiga to increase his chances of survival.
But what's fascinating is that even with all his skills and preparation, there's a palpable sense of unease, a growing awareness that he's facing something beyond his understanding.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the climax of this whole encounter.
Okay.
Sergey decides to seek refuge in a fallen tree,
Oh, interesting.
figuring the raised roots and thick trunk will give him some cover and a better vantage point.
Makes sense.
He's essentially creating a temporary fortress, limiting his exposure and forcing whatever's out there to come to him.
A strategic retreat, but also a sign that he no longer feels safe in the open.
Right.
He's preparing for a confrontation, and the tension at this point is almost unbearable.
You're telling me, you're listening to this, and you can practically feel the forest closing in around him. And the sounds change?
Yeah.
They become more intense,
Yeah.
more focused, like whatever is making them is circling closer, trying to pinpoint Sergey's location.
It's getting scary now.
And then, gunshots.
Yeah.
3 quick shots ring out, followed by this chilling, almost mournful cry.
It's a sound that sends shivers down your spine.
Right.
A sound that speaks of pain,
Yeah.
of primal fear,
Right.
of something utterly inhuman.
Not the roar of a bear or the howl of a wolf, but something different.
It's as though whatever Sergey encountered, it understood the threat he posed and reacted with a chilling awareness.
And through it all, you can hear Sergey talking to himself, trying to stay calm.
He's under a lot of pressure.
Trying to stay alive.
That's amazing he kept his cool.
I will fight to the end, he mutters,
Yeah.
his voice tight with a mix of fear and determination.
So he's not giving up.
He reloads, counting his remaining bullets.
Right.
Each click of the rifle echoing in the darkness.
It's like the sound of his feet clicking away.
He's in full survival mode now. Every
right.
action precise, every decision potentially his last.
This is where his years of experience become his greatest asset.
For sure.
He's not panicking.
Right?
He's strategizing.
Yeah.
He's using his knowledge of the terrain to his advantage,
I bet.
anticipating his attacker's movements and making every shot count.
You can hear the desperation in his voice, but also a flicker of hope as dawn finally breaks.
Thank goodness.
He emerges from his hiding place, exhausted but alive.
They made it.
The relief is palpable.
I bet he's shaken up, though.
But it's a shaky relief, the kind that comes with knowing you've stared into the abyss and somehow managed to climb back out.
He's marked by the experience,
Right.
Forever changed by the encounter.
But despite the terror of that night, there's a drive in him to understand, to find answers.
He's not going to let this go.
He immediately starts searching for some sign of what he encountered.
He's looking for answers.
Some physical evidence to explain the sounds.
He wants to know.
The gunshots, the cry.
Yeah.
But here's where things get really strange. He finds nothing.
What?
No blood, no tracks, no sign of a struggle.
That's weird.
It's as if whatever was there simply vanished with the coming of dawn.
The lack of physical evidence is one of the most perplexing aspects of this entire event.
Right.
It deepens the mystery.
Yeah.
Blurring the lines between reality and folklore, leaving us to wonder if we're dealing with a known predator, a misidentification, or something entirely outside our current understanding.
He does find one thing, though.
Okay.
Remember that ruined cabin he saw earlier?
Yeah.
The one where the noises seem to be coming from?
Uh-huh.
Well, he goes back there, and there, on a tree stump, is an old teapot smashed to pieces.
Not just knocked over, but shattered, as if struck with incredible force.
Right.
This single piece of physical evidence adds another layer to the mystery.
Yeah.
What could have generated enough power to inflict such damage?
It certainly adds credence to the idea that Sergey encountered something far more substantial than just sounds in the night.
It does.
And it connects back to that local legend about the resin collectors who were attacked years ago.
Wow.
The one where a bear supposedly attacked them, leaving one dead and the other missing.
Yeah.
The teapot, the missing resin collector, the ruined cabin.
Right.
It's like pieces of a puzzle scattered across time,
It is.
hinting at something sinister lurking beneath the surface of this remote wilderness.
It's tempting to dismiss such legends as folklore, but the taiga has a way of blurring the lines between myth and reality.
Right.
What if these stories, passed down through generations, hold a grain of truth?
Yeah.
What if they serve as warnings, cautionary tales, meant to remind us that there are forces at play in the wilderness that we may never fully comprehend?
And remember that theory about a cannibalistic tribe living deep in the taiga?
Yeah.
The one some people online were suggesting?
Right.
Well, Sergey dismisses it outright.
Makes sense.
He knows these woods. He knows the challenges of surviving in this environment, let alone sustain themselves through cannibalism.
Yeah. His dismissal is significant.
Yeah.
It highlights the importance of local knowledge, of lived experience versus speculation.
Yeah.
Just because a theory is chilling or captures the imagination doesn't make it plausible.
Right. Which brings us to a more intriguing possibility,
Okay.
one that aligns with those strange sounds and that almost supernatural cry.
All right.
The Wendigo.
The Wendigo is typically associated with Algonquin folklore,
Yeah.
primarily in the Great Lakes region of North America.
Right.
Not the Siberian taiga,
Yeah.
but the core characteristics of this creature.
Right.
The isolation, the wintry setting, the unsettling sounds, and the implication of a powerful predatory entity resonate deeply with Sergey's experience.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, are there similar entities in Russian folklore?
Right.
Creatures of shadow and ice that haunt the darkest corners of the taiga?
Yeah.
Creatures that might explain the lack of physical evidence, the sheer strangeness of that night?
It's a question worth exploring.
Right.
After all, every culture has its own myths and legends,
Yeah.
its own ways of explaining the unknown.
Yeah.
Perhaps somewhere in the rich tapestry of Russian folklore, there lies an answer, a creature that aligns with the details of Sergey's encounter.
So what did Sergey really encounter that night in the Siberian taiga?
Yeah.
Was it a known predator, a figment of his imagination, or something more unexplained?
We may never know for sure.
And perhaps even more importantly, what does he plan to find when he returns?
Right.
Because, and this is the really wild part, he's
Yeah.
already planning his next expedition.
He's going back in.
He's going back.
Wow.
He wants answers, and he's willing to face the unknown again to find them.
His determination speaks volumes.
Yeah.
It highlights the allure of the unknown, the drive to push beyond the boundaries of our understanding.
Right.
What will he discover on this next journey?
Yeah.
Will he find answers? Or will he find himself facing an even deeper mystery?
We'll be watching, waiting, and delving deeper into the lore of the taiga to see what we can uncover. And that's a wrap for this episode of The Deep Dive. I hope you enjoyed today's exploration into today's mystery, and that it gave you some valuable insights to think about. If you found this episode helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all our future deep dives. As always, thanks for diving deep with us today. Stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.